Hi, this is Scott Weinkiewicz from Imagely. On the WordPress Photography Podcast, we have talked about the idea of doing webinars or podcasts for your clients. Now, this is not an idea that every photographer will do in their business, but it's something that could be effective depending on your goal and your clients. And of course, your niche in photography. So, I want to show you how you can do a webinar for free for your photography clients. And the way we're going to do this is with Google Hangouts, or specifically Google Hangouts On Air. So to get started, you're going to log into your Google account that you have connected to a YouTube account. That's very important. And then you can go to hangouts.google.com and you're going to see a screen like this, which shows everybody that you're talking to or have talked to in the past and so on. You're going to then hit this More button right here, and you're going to scroll down to Hangouts On Air. A new tab will open where it shows you that you can create a Hangout on Air. So I'm going to click on that button and give it a name. Just call it XYZ webinar for the time being. And what you could put in a description here if you wanted to. I recommend you don't have to. You can include a description in the email you're going to send to your client later. Then you choose later and choose the date and time for the webinar and the duration. This is very important because now it's telling your clients this is when it is. This is the time, and now this is the date. And if they have a Google account and it's connected to Google Calendar, then when they accept it to join, that'll actually go to their Google Calendar with a link right to the Hangout On Air as well. Now, again, you don't have to actually have them see this. So basically what this means is if you added their email address that's a Google account, it'll go onto their calendar. But if you don't, then they're not going to see that at all anyway. But you want to make sure you do not share it public. As you just saw, I just clicked off of public, and that is because I don't want this being public for everybody to see. I want this only for my clients. So if you just try to share right now, actually want to switch that to now anyway, just for the demo purpose, I'm going to switch it to now. If you hit try to share now, you'll see that you cannot share it just on your own. You have to share it with somebody. So my recommendation is to actually share it with yourself. So have a secondary account, have a page. So as you can see, I have multiple. This is because Google actually winds up making Google Plus accounts even if you don't want it. So I actually have multiple accounts. But in a way, that's a good thing because now I can share with myself and only myself. So I'm going to hit share, and you'll see that it'll bring me to a Google Plus event. Now, it's really confusing that there's Google Hangouts On Air, and then Google Plus, and then Google Plus events. Really, Hangouts should be one thing. Hangouts On Air should be tied to Google Hangouts only, and the event created for the Google Hangout On Air should also be tied to Google Hangouts. But it's 4 different things, so that's what Google does. But as you can see here, I have a page where I have the event, XYZ webinar. It has the date and time, and then I have the ability to start a broadcast. Now, I'm not actually going to start it. I will start it, and then I will not actually start the broadcast, but I'll show you what happens when you start it, just on the screen. But you can see there's one person watching. Now, this is me. This is actually me. Now, my other account just received an invite to join this event, which I'm not going to accept right now. But here's what you want to do from here. Grab right here. It says links. You're going to grab that, and you are going to choose the YouTube page or the event page. It's up to you. Okay. Now, either way, there is a chat option, and that chat option, if you have Q&A enabled, you can on YouTube or on the Google Plus page, on the event page, you can have your clients actually do a Q&A with you live during the webinar if you chose. Then what you would do is, let's say I'm going to take the YouTube page, and I'm going to copy that. So right click copy or just hit Command C. And then I would open an email or go to my email marketing software and send an email to the client saying, hey, I've got a webinar coming up. This is what we're going to talk about, XYZ. And here is a link to join. It's on this date and this time. You can RSVP on the event page, and if you want to do that, or just visit the YouTube page, this YouTube link at this date and time, and you can join in the live Q&A as well. And there you go. There's your free webinar. You can then make that, what Google does, which I think is great, is any Google Hangout On Air video is automatically unlisted on YouTube, I mean, which means it's available to view, but not available publicly for everybody to see. It's only available via the link itself. So that means you can either make it public, which I don't recommend if it's client specific, but you can also keep it unlisted so that your clients can come back to it, or you can download it for your own purposes if you wanted to. Or you can make it private and make sure that nobody can see it afterwards because you wanted them to join live for that live engagement. Okay, so you got that. Now you create an event for your webinar. You have the links that you can send to your client for them to join the webinar. And again, you can send this to multiple clients. It's really up to you. And then, of course, we have the ability to start the broadcast. Now I'm going to start this. I'm going to just hit start. It'll bring up my webcam as well. So here I am talking. It asks for who we are inviting. Now you actually see me here, I've got two screens going on, so I'm not looking at the webcam because I'm recording over there. But so you got the ability to invite guests. We're going to hit skip. And now, there I am looking at the camera. Now we can actually, you can see the Q&A over here. So if people wanted to ask questions, they could do that right here. You can see down here, it's actually loading the broadcast. Now, I can't actually start the broadcast yet. I can't start it because it's not done loading. It has to get to 100%, and then a little button will show that says start broadcast. You can see here it says off air. There we go. There's a start broadcast button. So immediately I would hit start broadcast. It would tell me when it's recording. When I'm all done, I can hit stop broadcast, which will be in the same place. It'll just say stop. And then from there, I can then take the recording and do what I want with it after. But that is how you do a free webinar for your photography clients in a nutshell. You could use GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting, or whatever if you really want to, but you have to pay for it. And there's a free option that works very well. It's not automated so much as a GoToWebinar might be, but it does a great job of doing that. In fact, the WordPress Photography Podcast is all recorded this way, and then we go through an editing process afterwards. But it's recorded in this exact same way, and it does a fantastic job for us. So there you go. That is how you do a free webinar for your photography clients.